committed suicide 2 years ago. To both of you, good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome, thank you for joining us. Ma'am, good morning to you.
Good morning.
No, so your son committed suicide 2 years ago?
No, 12 years ago.
12 years ago.
Yeah, it's 12
Tell
years
us
ago.
about what happened.
I think, Vuyo, it's a long story, but as you told me that we've got some few minutes.
Yeah.
I think what I need to say is he committed suicide after the death of his father.
Okay.
So now I've sort of like changed my attention to how he died.
Yeah.
And to how I can prevent other people, youth from killing themselves.
When his father passed away, he took that very badly.
I should think so, because
had
it
a
was
strong
within.
relationship.
They had a strong, so it was within 4 months.
Yeah.
And then he killed himself.
What signs was he showing? I mean, when you think back, in that 4-month period, what was he doing?
Initially, I thought there were no signs.
Yeah.
Because I was also grieving from the loss of my, very loving husband.
Yes.
But when I come to think of it, the signs were there.
What was he doing?
And well, we're all grieving. We had the pain after the loss. And he was talking about death, something like, should I die? Please give my things to poor people.
Yeah.
And also, Mommy, my friends say, because of the pain from my dad's loss,
Yes.
I must take illicit drugs. I would rather die than do that. So then I would praise him for that, because if I say I would rather die, I'm saying I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
So the signs were there, but they were very subtle.
How old was he?
15 years old.
15 years old.
Yes, was 15 years old.
So, Dessy, just talk a little bit about what actually happens with youngsters. I mean, when you listen to this case, what comes to mind?
I think that she mentioned some of the warning signs that are important to look out for.
Yeah.
So, like giving prized possessions away, saying things like, I'm not doing too well, I wish I wasn't here.
Yeah.
Kind of preparing for death almost. Some teens do show that.
But what causes that? What leads up to that point where this feeling of not wanting to be here? What are some of the elements that get the youngster to that kind of level?
There are very many different things. Like Fikile mentioned, in this case, a lot of it was involved about grief. There's also often untreated depression.
Yeah.
There are family problems, conflict problems, substance abuse.
Yeah. Peer pressure?
Peer pressure, it can be bullying, can be part of it. It's almost like an environmental stress that they feel they cannot cope with, and that's why parental involvement is so important. It's a very chaotic time when you're a teenager.
So as a parent, you must be alert, but sometimes
Very much.
You are going through your own things. It's a very difficult situation.
It is a difficult situation, and I think also that's why counselling is so important.
Yeah.
And even if you don't have a means, give us a call and speak to our counsellors and ask them, are they coping? Are you doing well?
Yeah.
At the same time, you can't blame yourself. You can only do what you can do, and you're going through your own problems.
It must have been a difficult time for you. I mean, dealing with 2 deaths in such quick succession.
Yes, it was. But I think it was like a lesson, because I learned a lot from that experience. Now I'm able to connect with other people that have lost.
What did you learn?
I learned that the unexpected do happen.
Okay.
The impossible can be possible. And also suicide can happen to anyone. It can knock at anyone. It's a sort of like, if I may call it, a democratic disease. It can move into any this thing.
Yeah.
And also, due to the interaction with the youth from that time, I've learned that it's not easy to be young.
Yeah.
It's unlike in our days when things were going smooth. Now they've got a lot of problems.
There's a lot of pressure.
Of pressure, a lot of challenges.
So who do you talk to? Do you talk mainly to young people, or do you talk to families, do you talk to parents? And what do you tell them?
I give them hope.
Okay.
I give them hope that the first question that I ask myself is, why, in spite of all these efforts, do we have this problem escalating? That means there's something that we're not doing right.
Yeah.
So what I've learned is I talk to parents, teachers, students, and those that have attempted, because it's 3-pronged, those that have attempted, and also those that have lost their relatives through suicide.
Okay.
So there is an organization, it's called A Staff Hope, which I initiated, and so I go about.
Is there a number where people can reach you?
Yes, there is a number.
Okay. Okay, there's a number for the SADC Suicide Helpline. Just your message on this week of creating awareness for young people. What is your message to young people?
I think the message is that it is preventable. No
Okay.
matter how bad it can seem, there is another solution to it.
Okay.
So even if you can't see it, call us, speak to us, and tell us what the problem is, and let us help you. We can refer you to very many things, and we can help you find a different solution.
Okay. All right. So your organization is called One Star.
No. A Star of Hope.
A Star of
A
Hope.
Star of Hope, yes. And also within a month, there's going to be a book that I'm publishing on suicide, teen suicide and prevention of it.
Okay.
So it's coming out where it's simple, and how do you see the signs, and how do you get help,
And what to do.
how do give help,
Okay.
and what to do
All
when you're
right.
faced with this.
Thank you very much. Fikile Magubane, parent, lost her son 12 years ago, telling her story, as well as Dessy Troneva, who is with SADC, talking about the assistance they can provide. You're watching Morning Live here on SABC2. If you'd like to tweet about this particular issue, Warat Mbuli Vuyo, Warat Leanne Manners, or by text message, it's 33726.